everybody. Welcome inside fitnessinformant.com, Fitness Informant's YouTube channel. I'm F5 founder and CEO Ryan Buckeye. I want to thank you for stopping by and check out our explainer video on ReviveMD's Glucose RX Glucose Disposal Agent. ReviveMD is one of the best companies in the planet in terms of their formulations because they're backed by a doctor and by a mastermind in nutrition and fitness. Dr. Dom and Matt Jansen are the people behind ReviveMD, creating high-quality, effective supplements for the premier athlete, but also for people who may not be premier athletes. And that's what Glucose RX is, a great GDA that anybody can use. But if you are specifically more of a competitive athlete, like a bodybuilder, this product is made and designed specifically for you. So glucose disposal agents have gained a lot of popularity in sports nutrition. Why? Because of marketing. Now, a lot of the marketing we see from brands is false. They put a GDA in front of a massive cheat meal. That is exactly what a GDA is not. A glucose disposal agent does not give you permission or get out of a jail free card to have as many cheat meals as you possibly want, and your body's not going to have any adverse effect to that because your cheat meals are still calories. You're bringing the calories in. A properly dosed and formulated glucose disposal agent will help you utilize carbohydrate intake as it's transferred to glucose and stored as glycogen in your body, so that way you can increase your overall performance from the meal you just had. So maybe it's granola, maybe it's a bowl of cereal, maybe it's a burger and fries, but it's not 12 slices of cheesecake, 6 frozen pizzas, and a whole box of Oreos. An effective GDA will just help you utilize your carbohydrates in a better manner so that way you do not potentially store them as fat. That is an amazing thing to have, especially if you're a competitor on prep or if you're just somebody who doesn't really work well with carbohydrates. A GDA can really help you regulate your blood glucose levels and your insulin sensitivity levels. So we want to dive into ReviveMD's Glucose RX to explain a little bit more behind the science on this product so you better understand what's in this glucose disposal agent and why it's going to be so effective as a GDA. We first start off with berberine, which is probably going to be the most popular ingredient that we find in glucose disposal agents on the market. The problem with berberine in most of the brands out there, most of the GDAs, is it's underdosed. There are several different studies on berberine which go ahead and validate that it helps regulate and decrease blood glucose levels in a fasted state. There was a peer review of basically 14 different studies, I believe it was, consisting of over 1,000 participants, which all significantly verified that proper doses of berberine can help significantly reduce blood glucose levels. In a secondary study which dosed at 1 gram per day, so 1 gram of berberine per day, that showed that it significantly reduced abnormal elevated levels of not only just cholesterol and fats, but also of blood glucose levels. We get 1.5 grams here in ReviveMD's Glucose RX. So we get basically 1.5 times the clinical dosage to ensure that it's going to be effective at regulating and lowering your blood glucose levels. The second ingredient is called citrus bergamot. Now, citrus bergamot does two things, but primarily what it does is helps regulate and control your cholesterol levels. It helps lower bad cholesterol. In one study at 500 milligrams per day, which is exactly what we're dosed at here over a 12-week span, it showed that supplementing with citrus bergamot significantly reduced your bad cholesterol levels in participants. But in a separate studies on rodents, which a lot of tests in this world happen in a lab on rodents, it showed not only did it significantly reduce cholesterol levels, it significantly reduced blood glucose levels by over 22% at a 500 milligram per day dosage. We're getting 500 milligrams per day here on citrus bergamot. Grapeseed extract is next at 300 milligrams. Now, in the traditional sense in sports nutrition, we've seen grapeseed extract used in pump products or pre-workouts to induce more of an active state of blood flow. Well, that's a good positive benefit of grapeseed extract, but another positive of grapeseed extract is when taken at either 100 or 300 milligrams per studies, it's shown to actually reduce blood glucose levels in not only the fasted state, but basically the post-digestive state. So you just had something to eat and they draw blood again 2 hours later to see what your blood glucose levels is. The group that supplemented with either 100 milligrams or 300 milligrams of GSE or grapeseed extract showed a significant reduction in blood glucose levels over the placebo group. That it was significantly more beneficial at 300 milligrams per day, and that's exactly what we get here in ReviveMD's Glucose RX. Cinnamon extract has been used in historical sense for a lot of different remedies in terms of medicine, but in terms of blood glucose levels, cinnamon extract does a really good job in terms of regulating and controlling blood glucose levels. There's a positive impact not only on your fasted blood glucose levels, but also your blood glucose levels after digesting a high carbohydrate meal. In one study, participants were given 75 grams of carbohydrates, and those who basically supplemented with 500 milligrams of cinnamon showed a significant reduction in blood glucose levels over the placebo group. Now I know you're thinking, okay, that's 500 milligrams. We get 300 milligrams here in ReviveMD's Glucose RX. Still not underdosed. Why? Because there's more studies out there. In another study, participants were given either 50, 100, 150, or 200 milligrams of cinnamon extract a day in terms of looking for blood glucose levels. And it was dose dependent, but the results were significant. So at the 200 milligrams per day, that significantly reduced blood glucose levels compared to the control group, which it was 0, right? So we're getting 300 milligrams of cinnamon extract in here. The results of the study show that 200 milligrams, it's a significant reduction in blood glucose level. We're getting more than that 200 milligrams here in ReviveMD's Glucose RX. The next ingredient is ALA, or alpha lipoic acid. Now this is typically used in weight loss supplements or fat loss supplements. But it shows there's positive studies out there that show ALA can actually help regulate and reduce blood glucose levels. What we looked at here is a couple different studies. One study gave participants 300 milligrams of ALA daily, and the results indicated that it showed a significant decrease in fasted blood glucose levels, as well as the post-digestive blood glucose levels at 300 milligrams per day. Now, we are getting 200 milligrams per day, so again, you might be thinking, like, is it enough? And the answer is yes, because in a separate study, again, it happened in a lab here, they were dosed, or they were given 100 milligrams per day of ALA, which also showed to significantly reduce blood glucose levels and significantly improve insulin sensitivity. Next ingredient, fenugreek, is dosed at 200 milligrams. This ingredient might be familiar if you've ever used a testosterone booster before. Fenugreek extract is used in a lot of testosterone boosters, but there's actually positive studies out there that show it helps with blood glucose, of all things, right? You're gonna see a common theme here. Basically, in type 2 diabetic patients, now diabetic patients are traditionally studied for these ingredients because they can't produce insulin, so they have to take exogenous insulin to help regulate their blood sugar levels. So supplements like this can actually help diabetic patients, which is why it's been brought over to the sports nutrition world. But fenugreek extract, in 2 different studies, participants digested or ate 10 grams of actual seeds. Now, seeds and extract are completely different, right? The extract's what's actually taken from the seeds. So we don't need 10 grams of fenugreek extract to be effective. The 200 milligrams of fenugreek extract is going to be effective, but basically, in 2 different studies on type 2 diabetics, eating 10 grams of fenugreek extract per day helped significantly reduce your blood glucose levels, both in a fasted state and in a post-digestive state. The next ingredient is Genema extract at 175 milligrams. This is probably the second most popular ingredient that we see in GDAs, or glucose disposal agents, second to berberine. It's a very good ingredient from a leaf. It's one of the most popular ingredients, like I mentioned, but again, they had studies here in type 2 diabetics. They were given 400 milligrams of Genema per day, which showed a significant reduction in insulin requirements and fasted glucose levels. Another study then showed there was another study on Genema showed that it actually decreases the absorption of sugar. So if you're gonna have candy and stuff, it doesn't absorb that the way it would if you didn't take it. So Genema can help in a couple different ways. One, reduces blood glucose levels, but number 2, can also potentially decrease the absorption rate of overall sugar in the body. In fact, that if you look at what Genema extract is in a different sense, it's actually called the destroyer of sugar, so that's exactly what it is. And the last 2 ingredients on this is estrogen, which helps with ingredient absorption and nutrient uptake, and bioperin, which helps with ingredient absorption from this product to make sure that you're actually be able to absorb the ingredients that they're giving you, because they're giving you great ingredients at amazing dosages. You want to make sure that you absorb them into the bloodstream. So they use not one, but they use 2 different nutrient uptakes and basically 2 different ingredient uptakes, ingredients in this product to make sure that you're actually getting the most from this product. My final takeaway is this. I've looked at a lot of GDAs, and a lot of them out there are going to be underdosed on several different ingredients because they're expensive to make. ReviveMD does not cut corners. They do not bullshit with this product. They're giving you great ingredients with clinical trials behind them. Not only we typically get the rodent studies or the lab studies, but they have human clinical studies behind these ingredients that they use in this product, and they're using the dosages that were used either at or above what those clinical trials were. That means, in theory, that this is going to be a very effective glucose disposal agent when it comes out and you take it. On paper, it's the king of the hill. It's one of the best GDAs I've ever seen. I'm excited to try it here at Fitness Informant. I'm excited for it to get out into the world. I'm excited for people to understand and discover ReviveMD because they're making some of the best formulated supplements in terms of general health on the market today. Glucose RX, no exception to the rule, one of the best GDAs that I've ever seen. If you want a more in-depth analysis of this product, look below for a description, in the description for a link to go visit the breakdown of the science over at fitnessinformant.com. For more ingredient explainers or more explainers like this, hit the subscribe button here in the bottom corner. to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all new information from our brand. Make sure you follow us on all our social media channels. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Subscribe to our podcast. We're on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube. Features Matt Jansen, one of the owners behind Revive MD. For more supplement reviews, deals, news, rankings, more explainer videos like this as well, meal plans, and workout routines, please visit us on our official website. We're online at fitnessinformant.com.